Okay. I think we are live. Yes.
We are live.
Any the community members, if you can see us live, can you please comment? Can you please share a thumbs up? Yeah. Oh, good. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are, and welcome to the webinar on L1X app. Before we get started, right? And I just wanted to share, a small, like for a few minutes, right? I won't take more than 5, but I just want to share a small story, right? And this story is pretty close to me because this marks the birth of L1X, right? So when I decided to, actually get started, Keyur and Lionel as well, I was pretty, stressed. Like, are we going to be able to do something like this or pull something off, sitting in Perth, right? And like, it's the most absurd idea sitting in Perth. And these kind of projects are, they have a very low rate to success if you think about it in a way. But even the low rate to success means, you're already triumphing like Web 2 companies in terms of the market cap, if you may. And I had this analogy where I think the hardest thing to do is, transitioning or creating this vision into everyday, thought that everyone has, right? And I think that's very important. And this tool that we have, the L1X app, I kind of think of it like the human body, right? The founder is like the brain, and the team is like the body parts, where the body parts need to sync with the brain to do things in the right way, right? But over time, your muscle memory of your body parts start to understand what's the best way to do things, and there is a gap, right, in this process. I think what Web3 has introduced is that the community also acts as the brain, right? And when the community members have a tool to create awareness, that is the time I feel that the vision has transcended properly from the founder's mind. So I think the most important thing is we worked very hard to get the balancer pool out. We worked very hard to get the protocol out. And more importantly, the L1X app, I see that, or even the Space CMS, I see that as a tool that the community has to create awareness. Because how does the community go out there and create awareness for L1X, right? So this is not to say that the Layer 1X focus is on L1X app or Space CMS, but to clarify, it's a tool that the community can use to create awareness for the holistic product or the ecosystem that is the protocol. And that's why the Space CMS is so important for us as the marketing arm to go and create this awareness for people, right? Okay. With that, in mind, we won't take a lot of your time. I think let's get started. And we have Keyur here. Everyone knows Keyur. He's our influential, representative. And we have Leonel, who is leading the application side of things. And if something goes wrong, you know who to catch, right? Leonel leads the application management. I'm focused more on the core. So Keyur, without any further ado, let's share the screen and let's get started with it. And just a
I
quick one: if any one of you is clicking mouses, can you please stop, because I think it's interfering with the audio. Yeah, go ahead.
okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want me to start from here on?
Yeah, I think you can start from the usernames. That's a good place to start. Yeah.
All good. So guys, the very this is the very basic element of the L1X app we have. The first thing you need to experience what we are building here at L1X app is to get a good username, right? You can go to the page. You can pick a username of your choice, because we are very in the very early stages. It's very likely that if you go try and find a username of your choice, it'll be available, and if you can get it right away, nothing like it, right? This username will be you'll be able to, this will be your single identity that you'll be able to use across the whole L1X ecosystem. You'll be able to log in, you'll be able to share your space cards, everything with this will be basically your one user ID on L1X app, right? Now, even some people might not have wallets. Some people you might not have uh, you you might have to integrate this using the wallet, right? So you can also use this straight away with your email, right? You go to, there's this thing called X Connect that we have introduced. You go to the L1X app user homepage. Over here you'll see this wallet button. Now first you had to this connecting the wallet was mandatory. Now what you can do is you can click on sign up with or log in with email. Over here you can put in your email, you can enter your password, and then you can experience the whole ecosystem without even having to link your wallet, right? For linking to the NFT, you need a username, but you can build your product portfolios with just signing up using the email ID, right? uh, the next stage is wizard. This is
Kayur,
a very
can you make your screen bigger, because I think
all
I
good.
can
Here I
only,
click
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
on it.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, got it. So over here, right beside the connect icon, you'll see wizard. Now we have developed this module especially for you to understand the basics of how the app works, right from connecting your wallet, space cards, application, web3 websites. Think of this like a documentation that you have, like a quick start guide for you to experience, for you to get started, take your first steps and all, right? Once you click on wizard, you'll have a complete how to guides on how to set up individual features on the L1X app, right? Now here's the most basic element. Space CMS. With say Space CMS, you'll be able to create vertical and horizontal cards. It's kind of like Linktree, much better than Linktree, I'd say, right? Linktree allows you to create basic vertical cards, put some links here and there, but there's no customization available, right? Does not allow you the flexibility. It's very limited in the sense that every Linktree looks the same. If you share a link tree, it looks like a link tree. It's very promotional in that sense. Does not allow you to highlight the things that you want to highlight, right? Let's say if you're a newsletter person, you might want to highlight your newsletter on the very top. If you're a course guy, if course is your main CTA, you might want to highlight that. So Linktree does not allow you to uh, you know uh, have total control on what you're building, right? Over here you can either choose from one of the beautiful templates that we have, or you can choose to create your custom you can choose to create your custom one from scratch, and make it look exactly like you want it to look, right? Then we also have, again, we also have some pre-built templates that we have that you can start using right away on the platform. And on this tab, you'll also be able to see the templates all the other community members are building, so that you can maybe try out something that you like from others. If they have made it public, you can just simply copy the template and make it your own, right? The most basic thing, again, along with these space cards, you'll these features are coming very very soon. You'll be able to share your space cards anywhere, even with people who are not on the L1X app, so that everyone can see your data. Again, it can be in the form of a direct link, a QR code, and you can embed this anywhere really in your website, so that people can come to your L1X profile seamlessly. It's a streamlined experience. If someone, whatever you build on L1X app, it's a space card, it's a Web3 website, everything will be interconnected. Whatever you build here, once you build your Web3 website, you'll be able to pick elements from your space cards. You can pick the whole space card, and you can also link it to your landing page or whatever homepage website you're trying to build. Right. This is how it will look like once it's ready. It's you can create a fully featured website that usually that usually a lot of people you try to build a website using any random tool. It'll take $10-15 every single month, and you'll need different features. Platforms like WordPress, it will charge you some money for every extra plugin that you try to install, right? If you wanna, as a creator, even as a business, you might want several different features like newsletters. You might want to host courses. You might want to do live streams. All of that is built natively into Space CMS without you having to go somewhere else. Figure out how that tool works, figure out how that tool talks to the current tool that you're using. All of that, we have solved that for you. You just everything is available at one place for you in Space CMS. You can make your website look exactly the way you want while integrating some of the most common features that you need as a creator. Right. Again, a lot of things are coming soon, in the sense that you'll be able to live stream directly from your website. It will be dynamic and real time, and you'll be able to give exclusive access to your top followers. You can apply conditioning to some of your modules, be it course modules or live streams. That way you'll be able to give a personalized experience to some of your top followers, which is almost impossible to do right now in any of the social media platforms, right? So that is something. It's like one platform you need for everything that you need everything that you would ever need as a creator, right? You'll have NFTs. You'll be able to display custom NFTs. You'll be able to unlock several different Web3 features as well. I think Kevin will be able to give you a better idea on the NFT side of things.
Yeah, I think before you move ahead, right, I think one of the important stuff to notice over here and to note down is that all these features that Keyur has been going through, those are already available in the version 2. And today we'll be releasing the version 2 to a certain set of usernames. But what is the difference between your business card, or let's say even your Linktree account, right, and the space card? The way I like to see this is your business card and your Linktree account are like Blackberries, right? Where you have this keyboard that are always present in there, regardless of what application you are using and interacting with. The Space CMS is more like the iPhone, or the space cards is more like the iPhone, where you build something, and when you share that to a group of people, or you want to use that to demonstrate your profile, you share it to who you want and what you want. It provides more flexibility. And I think let's look at an example, like a real world use case where, let's look at 2 examples, a real world use case where you could use this. Number 1, let's say you are sending someone an email. And if you have actually sent an email to someone, please comment so I know that you're actually using the internet for communication. But anyways, when you have your email signature, in that email signature, you can insert your email space card. Now, what will this do? If someone wants to verify that this email has actually come from you, clicks on that link, goes on to the space card that you send through, and sees a tick mark of your email versus the email that you actually received the information from. Now, this is a two-way form of saying that you don't have to use it every time, but if you want to send some critical information, you can use it. Number 2, let's say you have opened a ticket on Discord and you share your wallet ID or your wallet address. many times there could be a situation where the wallet address that you share may not be coming explicitly from you. Maybe someone is trying to dupe you, right? Someone is trying to pretend it's you. At that point in time, if you share your wallet address through a space card that has been verified, we know that this is you. It can make the process of verification faster, but also at the same time, you can use this across multiple different places as well, right? And this is where I think the NFTs act as a form of validation, where you are the owner of this NFT, and this NFT can be verified with the system that we have built. So that's the role of NFT. Those are the use cases and some foundational differences between your business Linktree account versus your space card.
Right.
Yep.
I think,
All right, Keyur.
all good.
Go ahead. Yeah. I think you're
I can keep
supposed
my
to. You were,
screen shared. That's not a problem.
yeah. All right. Let's probably let Keyur share his screen and let's demonstrate and actually try to see. Even if you try to build a space card, is it complex? Is it easy to build?
Oh,
And if you think it's easy to build, please let us know in the comments so we know.
perfect. So you head over to account. Once you, so here's how, it's a good idea to demonstrate how to connect the wallet as well. Once you have your wallet, I can simply sign it over here. Select my username. This is the Academy one. Okay. In fact, we our own academy, we are building it on the Space CMS itself, so you'll be able to access all the basic courses and all over there, right? So let's say you want to create a custom. Let's try and create a custom card. Uh, I can select social. You can make it look exactly the way you want. Just a second. All good. You can create a profile title here. Maybe let's say I'll create my own. Over here, you can add a profile photo that you want. Over here, you can maybe add a small bio of sorts. Like you see, you can add whatever social icons you want to add. We have so many, and we'll keep adding more social media icons. Let's say you want to add a Twitter one. You can enter your Twitter URL over here. I'll just right.
That's the first time I saw someone actually type the whole URL.
It's easier. Right.
Okay.
So over here you can add a link heading. Whatever. Let's say you're selling course, is the you want to promote your course. The very first thing, check out my course. You can write something like this, and inside the CMS you'll be able to host your course as well. You can copy the link and you can paste it over here. If you want just a text box, you can do something like this. If you want the URL and the heading to be separate, you can even choose that. Right? You can pick different headings. You can pick as many headings as you want. Right? If you want to add a new header, you can do that. If you want to add a new text box, you can do that. You can make this as long as you want, as short as you want. You can add as many social icons as you want. And Kevin, if I'm not wrong, you can also change the background, right? If the background appearance over here, from over here, right?
Yes.
You can upload an image. You can choose from these templates. I think there's also an option where you can upload your own image over here. If you want a specific kind of background that you prefer, you can do that as well, right? And again, like Kevin said, we'll also have different types of cards available, like the email card, email signature card that you can straight away embed into your email signature. And all of that. All good.
I think you need to save it, right?
Yes, I think once this is done, you will be able to.
Yeah.
you'll be able to go back over here. You'll be able to click on view my cards.
Yeah, just refresh your page. We're working.
Right.
Yeah, and then view my cards.
Right over here it is. You can create as many space cards as you want, and
Yeah.
you can even filter. Let's say you create different types of space cards. You want to look at a specific type of cards. You can look at that as well.
Nice.
And in the next version you'll be able to share these cards with others as well, on several different social media platforms, WhatsApp messages, so that everyone will be able to see this.
Leonardo, can you tell the community what is the filter by over there?
Okay, so usually what's going to happen is you might create like 10 different profile cards, different business cards as well. So you can filter it by category. So if you want just to see your social cards, you can click on social and it's just going to filter as per the category.
That's it. Okay, good. What about the Web3 websites? Can we have a look at that?
Over here, you can again either start fresh or you can pick from these. We'll be building a lot of different templates. You can pick, let's say, this template, take you to a different CMS again, which is super flexible. You can straight away start editing, replace these images with your own. You can add more images. It's you can click on plus. You can add a link blog. If let's say you want to add a quote over here that you believe in, you can add. I think Kevin, you mentioned something before we started the webinar. It's like around failure, right? I can write I can write a quote on that, something like that, right?
No, I think I mentioned about I think the fear that you have doesn't come from the fact that you think you're going to fail, but it comes from the fact of you're not going to do what it takes not to fail.
Right.
Because once you start doing it, the fear goes away. So that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Right. And again, but all the streams, once the streaming is activated, you can also pick your streams and feature all those over here. The streams, the space cards, everything. You'll be able to import everything on your Web3 website. Right.
Yeah. So Keyur, according to you, how is this CMS system? Like, I know the answer, but according to you, how is this CMS system for the website builder different to WordPress, Elementor? Like, why will a user come to this versus, to WordPress?
I think WordPress, it's pretty, again, it comes with a lot of bells and whistles, for every other thing is paid. Firstly, with platforms like WordPress, the entry, there's no barrier to entry. You can create an account for free. There are so many things that they provide and all of that, but the experience inside is not so. For every little thing that you need, they'll say that, oh, you need one more plugin. If I have to install Elementor, I have to go to the backend. For someone like me who has no tech knowledge, right? I have to figure out the hosting. I have to, and then once I even have to know that there's something like Elementor, and then I have to keep reading the Elementor docs on how to do little things as well. This I have never seen something as seamless as this, right? You just click on plus. If I need 2 columns, I just pull this out, and just it's there. I can add what I need in these columns, and I can start using it right away. So this product is in its very early stages, and the amount of speed you have focused on, the amount of focus you have put on speed, it's really seamless, even though it's just the beginning of the product. I cannot imagine how it will be, when it's completely out there for the public. And I feel very privileged to be able to kind of test things out, contribute to the features and all.
Yep. Nice.
So
nice.
For a lot of creators, they are not very tech savvy, and even if they are, they don't want to have the hassle of figuring things out. And like you rightly said, right, when you introduced me to the product yourself, I think one thing you mentioned is you'll have all the features at one place, and these features will talk to each other. So that is something, it's very hard. And in Elementor, let's say if I want to host a course, I'll have to figure out an LMS plugin that will allow me to do that. I'll have to pay something extra. I'll have to go to ConvertKit to build the whole email marketing system. Over here, it's all at one place. So that is That is the biggest USP for me, is what I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. And I think one of the things that I love about this is the streaming aspect of it as well. Like, we have been testing that out, and once it works perfectly, we'll move on to that. Do you mind showing the streaming side of things as well?
Right, absolutely. Over here, you can click on, you can go to Space Cards. You can go to Web3 websites. Over here, you can click on Manage Streaming. Right. Over here, you can either integrate your Sprout Video API or Streamyard. So whatever account you prefer. Over here, we also have the full guide on how you can do that. Right. Like literally, you can create you can sign up for a Streamyard account. Everything is, you just have to copy this embed, paste it over here. All that respective webinar or video that you have on StreamYard will be appearing over here like this. Then once you click on the switch, this will be active. Now when you go to Space CMS, I think you'll be able to find a plugin. You'll be able to find a, maybe I'll have to refresh here.
You have to refresh, yeah.
Right. So here, let's say I can directly import the stream from over here, and I can put it over here. Right. So you can put all your webinars at one place. If there's a webinar you're hosting, you can kind of let me pull this up. I'll have to create a one-on-one container, maybe a single column, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? You can embed this over here, so that you don't have to take people to a different landing page just to have them sign up to your webinar. And then once the webinar is done, it will be archived video as well.
Yeah, and again, I think one of the immediate use case that I see that the community members can have is the space card, because whenever you go to Twitter, right, or X now they call it, you go and you talk about a certain project that you love, right, and then the other guy tries to figure it out. Like if he sees your comment, he tries to figure it out. What is this project about? So if you think that you can explain the project well, or let's say you want to show certain links about your project, it could be referral code about these projects. Maybe you can just put your referral code in the space card and then take the space card link and post it on Twitter comments. So in that way, the person looking at the comments clicks on it and has all the referral codes of the person who referred this guy in one single place as well. I think that can be one of the immediate use case. Like you don't have to build a single card and show who you are. I love to do this. No, if you're only thinking about bringing people on board from Twitter comments onto the platform, you can post these links over there as well in a specific card. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the content creators or even influencers or the mods, this is one of the feature that can be helpful. Yeah.
Another thing that comes to my mind is when creators want to monetize their following, or they want to create a product of sorts, they look into creating a funnel. And then again I come back to the point where you have to get another software where someone fills out that form, they look at a recorded webinar of yours, and then you funnel them into a different product. All of this you can do using the streaming module. You just people will sign up, people will be able to look at that video, and then you can straight away link your portfolio of products where they can purchase that from. So all of that flow, I think these sales funnel softwares charge at least $150 every single month. That's huge amount of money for someone trying to start to sell something, right? So
yeah, understood. Yep. Good. All right, let's move on to the applications. I think that is one of the most important aspect of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will just explain through what the applications are. All right. One of the feature that you will see in your, once you get the access to it, you will see the space where there is an applications panel. Now, the objective of this application panel is to bring your data that you have already generated on applications such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Discord, Instagram, Medium, TikTok, and verify that information before you share it with someone. For example, as I mentioned previously, that if you opened a ticket and let's say you had your wallet address or you had your email ID, right, while you send someone an email, if you are using a similar email on any of these platforms and you install the application, that process will verify that the email that you have on the application and the email that you have on the space card are actually the same, and it can be verified, cross verified with each other. That's number one. And number two, I see the benefit over here where your sign in process is completely encrypted, and the data that you actually bring on is stored in the data storage contract, right? So this is another use case of the L1X protocol that we are trying to push. And don't be surprised, many will not get the power of this, right? But that is where I think visionaries and people who understand what it takes to, create a new wave of products try to push these things. But here, as I mentioned previously, the community itself are the visionaries being in this game for a long time, right? Because they push the product more than the team can push the product. So this is one more, use case of it. But the third one, I think, is there is a lot of recreation of data I see every time, right? And if you onboard information from any of these applications, you want to take control of this data, because you ultimately, maybe it's not a big thing right now, but creating data again and again, that's a cumbersome process. Like every time you got to write certain things that you already have. Let's say on Medium, you want to monetize that, you got to write again. Let's say, your Facebook friends birthday list, you want to create a card for that, you got to remember that on your calendar. So there are these opportunities you get where you don't have to keep creating this information, right? And right now we have limited this data to your profile information, right? So only your profile based information will be fetched in and verified against your space cards. But it's a great way to start, because the moment you start creating content, the more important thing over there is, are you the guy actually sending me this card or not? That is very important to note, because if that's not true, whatever you say isn't going to matter, right? So the anchor here is the profile verification. And I think, Leono, you have something to show to the community on how to do that, yeah?
Yeah, I'll just demonstrate that.
Good.
Let me share my screen. Perfect. Are you all able to see my screen?
Yeah.
I will stop sharing this for you.
So yeah, we've got the applications tab right in here in your space card section. So as Kevin mentioned, like the benefits of applications, it technically acts like a connector between L1X app and your Web 2 application. So there'll be a lot of applications coming in, but this is just a start. So L1X profile, so this is basically linked to your username. So if you have multiple usernames, you'll be able to create multiple L1X profiles. And this is just a basic idea. If you have a business profile, you can put your business information over here. If you have your social profile, you can just put your social profile over here. Next thing that we do, the step over here is you can link any of these applications to L1X. And the first thing you do is just go to the application. You see all the information, basically what it does. So right now, as Kevin mentioned, we just import your profile information. So what you have to do is just click on install or click on connect over here. And once you connect, it's going to take you to the platform. It's going to ask you for the permissions. If you are already logged in, it's just going to ask you to authorize. If not, you have to sign in. And once you authorize, it's just going to pull in your for
So
example,
just to clarify,
yeah,
you authorized it on some other screen, right?
on some other
Right.
screen. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was on Discord. So it took me out Discord to their auth
Yeah.
like component, and it imported my data from there. Right.
Yeah.
So this is one use case. Similarly, we have it for LinkedIn as well. It just takes you out over there. You enter your password, and it's gonna um, like display your LinkedIn profile in here. Just your username and profile picture for now, because those are the basic permissions we have configured. But what's going to happen over here is we are still working on the permission side of things, where when you click on install, you'll be asked what data you want to import as well. So in case of LinkedIn, if you add import all your followers and your profile picture, where you're working, your past organization history and everything, so that data can be imported. And when you create a space card, you can pick and choose one of these data points and share it with that particular audience. So your applications will basically act as a connector to your space cards, and it will sync all the data using webhooks in real time with L1X app. And the same data is going to be reflected on your space cards, but again, it's going to be limited to the data that you have shared or added to that particular space card. Right. So that's pretty much about the applications for now.
Do you want to show where this data is, the preview of this information?
Oh, sure. I'll just go back.
Yeah.
So we have this in space cards. These are, all your default templates. But we've got an import from feature that is linked to applications. So if I click on import from, it's going to show me all the applications that I have my data connected with L1X app. And for now, if I just click on Discord, it has imported my data. I go to view my cards, and it's going to display it over here. For now, we don't have the functionality yet where you go and pick and choose the data points. So this is the basic one that we have configured.
So the
And,
username over here
yeah.
that you have actually connected and verified, this would
Yeah.
actually mean that when you take this username and add it on your space card, it is actually even telling the person you have sent this space card to that your account is actually verified, like you are a verified Discord member with this username. So
That's
you
right.
have bridged the gap of Discord bots, basically. So
That's right.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. And even the data that we are storing, from social media, because most of the people might be having concern over, you all are storing the data with us. But the thing is, we won't be able to access this data because this data is encrypted using your wallet address. So if we want to have access to this data, we need access to your private key.
Yeah. Which we don't have, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay.
One more thing I was wondering, Kevin, is creators have this problem of they create on different platforms, let's say Instagram, YouTube, and all. They'll have a different follower count on YouTube, and they'll have a different follower count on Instagram. Can this integration help them bridge the gap between the followers, or kind of help their community cross follow on the other platform and all of that? And about the content module as well, when you say all the data will be fetched, is it just the profile data or the real time content data as well? Because I remember you mentioned Medium blogs as well. Right.
Yeah, I like to think of this as a fact where the influences themselves, definitely it's a no-brainer that if I can have my followings from different social accounts into a single card, it helps me share that across and show the social meter or the power meter that I have. But for everyday people, right, that's not important because they're not influencers. They're busy in their lifestyle. But what is the benefit over there, right? The benefit over there is if you are following someone on socials, you can keep a track on various notifications of what that person has uploaded in one space. Like I follow certain YouTubers on certain tech gadgets, right? Like I love my tech gadgets, but then I got to go on YouTube, different channels. I got to go on, let's say, Twitter, and look at, because they post different content at different places. So this kind of like aggregates it for me as a viewer. So it helps me understand that aspect of things as well, that if I am following someone, I have all that information about that person in one place.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. For businesses, what I think they can also use is if there is a CRM functionality of sorts. So let's say I connect my LinkedIn, and if I'm a business owner, will I be able to manage all my leads, conversations with them from LinkedIn? Are we also fetching the internal messages, the messages that are being exchanged on the LinkedIn Messenger or any other messenger, Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, I think what is important is, right, like giving the right tool to the right person, right? Because what's going to happen over here is, like, I made this mistake more than anyone else, I think so, right, on this call, which is if someone is looking for, let's say a bottle of water, you don't sell him wine, right? So this Space CMS is exclusively for people, right, that want to come in and start leveraging, I think, three things in my opinion. Okay. The first one is the streaming aspect of things. Like I want to, I love streaming. I want to do that, right? The second one that I feel is, if you are regularly active on socials, you can go and create your space card and share it on socials if people want to know a little bit more about you, right? And the third one is a direct communication between the people and businesses, where if you want to verify someone using certain things, then, for example, the Discord installation that happened. Now, what L1X app could do as a business is, if you share this information with your verified Discord username, you get X, right? So then it helps a business to know that, okay, I'm not spending my money on bots. I'm spending my money on real people pushing this out, pushing this product out to the other guys. So these are the three areas that I see, streaming, profile creation, and sharing it on socials, so that people know that, okay, there is something that I can go to. I don't need to go to your LinkedIn. I don't need to go to your Twitter. I don't need to go to somewhere else to learn about you, right? I don't need to visit your website. I just want a quick peek of what you're trying to tell me, right? And the third one is the verification side. So these three areas are where we want to focus right now with this technology.
So right now what happens is, for a lot of softwares that we use, you have to enter your email, go to your email to verify, write a verification code. All of that is replaced with just, one click login. And on the back end, provided that you have logged in and verified all the other applications like Discord, LinkedIn, it's with one click, you'll be able to verify all at once.
That's right. Yeah. And also, I think from the roadmap perspective, right, one thing is important to understand here is the flow. So what I've done is, I'm known for my whiteboards, right? So I've created a whiteboard to explain in 5 minutes the whole infrastructure, which is, what is your username, your email, your wallet address, and when you share, what happens, right? So I'll just share my screen. Let me know once you can see my screen.
We can.
Yeah?
Now we can.
Perfect. Okay. Now, what you got to think about it is, you come in as a wallet address or as an email, doesn't really matter, right? You have your username. Your username is the holy grail for a couple of things. It registers itself as a username NFT. So what does that actually mean? That actually means that in the coming time, you will use your username as a domain link. Like kevincoutinho.l1x is a website in itself for me, right? So that is a recognition that I am getting in the form of an NFT. The other one is the space cards that you create. because the space cards that you are actually creating is an NFT in itself, it links with your username NFT and recognizes that kevincoutinho.l1x owns the space card for his profile information. So there is a form of ownership established at this point in time. Now, when you saw that Lionel actually imported that data into Web3 contract, at that point in time, the application card sends this information into the data contract that the username holds. And that's why different usernames have different application permissions. You can select a username, but your other username cannot see the data that your username that you used to import the data actually processed. So in this space, your data is pretty much protected by that one single username. Because if you want to resell the username, for example, right, you don't want to link your data in there because there is no such thing as deleting data from the blockchain, if you think about it, right? And why is it cheaper to store data on the blockchain sometimes is because you're not paying for a recurring cost. On blockchain, you only pay when you update the state. You don't pay when you read, right? So if you have already stored, you can read it for free. So basically, it's in the long run, it's going to be actually cheaper to host data on the blockchain, right? Mark my words. And when you share it with someone, at this moment, we have sharing with everyone. But when you share it with someone, your username, your space card NFT, or your application NFT actually goes through something called as access control. Meaning, if I, as kevincoutinho.l1x, gives permission to Lionel.l1x for this data, only he can see this data. And that is where the sharing module allows you to share with a specific person or a group of people or with everyone. If you share it with everyone, that means the sharing module has not taken into consideration the access control because it is available for everyone to see. And that is what will be available in the coming week, so that you can start sharing with everyone. And once people start coming in, you can start sharing with a single username, from then on. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I think that was quite a bit to take in. All you need to do next is that you have already commented your usernames in these places. We're gonna have an opportunity to give 10 people access to the L1X app version 2 today, right? And when will the other people get access to it with the username? In the coming month. So by the end of next month, whoever has bought the usernames, all of them will be having access to it, right? The other angle to this is we are also working on updating the navigation of L1X app as well. The updated navigation makes it much more seamless to navigate, and I will give you a quick preview of that. That will be available in the coming month as well. Let me actually open that up. All right. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So if you look at this, this is the navigation that we have worked on, and we have revamped the homepage for you, first of all, right? Now the homepage has something called as quick links. So you can navigate throughout the website through these quick links. You can also go to the menu. The menu allows you to look at it as a list view, and there is an explanation on each and every application in there. So if I go to swap, I see swap related information. If I go to accounts, I'll have different accounting related information in there, right? So each and every application has been categorized to its place. If you want to see grid view, you don't want to read about it, you can go to the grid view as well, right? The DeFi section has...
You have taken a lot of inspiration from Apple, is what I was saying, on the grid view.
Yeah. In technology, what you see today is an inspiration of what was done 10,000 years ago. Like
Right.
Apple got inspiration from Xerox for the UI UX,
Right.
and each and everything that we see today is built upon itself. Like Bruce Lee said, right? Take what you think is there, remove what you think, and add your unique aspect to things. I think that's where we all are today. And if you see the navigation over here, the dock, right? That we haven't taken inspiration from Apple, but the design team has worked very hard to understand as well what goes into these DeFi spaces. So you see there's balancer, there's stake, swap. So the ultimate objective is to make it so seamless that even the X wallet as an infrastructure in itself can be plugged into any website that is actually even using balancer pool, for example, to authenticate the user, right? And this is where we stand in terms of the L1X update. But the sequence of release is today you'll get access to the version 2 that we actually saw. After that, we will open this navigation features and the balancer pool features in the version 2 as well, so that the version 2 is the most complete form of L1X app for the NFT holders or the username holders first. And post that, we will actually get rid of the version 1 and everyone will be able to use version 2. If you have the username, you can use certain things. If you don't, you can still use the DeFi products as it stands. Now, one more update. I just finished a call with the Diga Arcade guys, right? And in the coming week, we are going to smash through the integration of Elderun, which is a high graphics game, and have interoperable NFTs in there. So those kind of projects will also be available on L1X app, right? Where you can earn while you play the games, right? You deposit your L1X coins or you deposit your BPT tokens that you actually have, and you can start playing the game, right? So this is where we see that although we are focused on the fact that there is DeFi that we are focusing on from the Xtalk perspective, you have to understand that I didn't come into this, to please certain group of people. I came into this to build something that people can use on a daily basis. And sometimes it can be a longer journey, but we are getting there. We built the most complicated DeFi product on the planet, the multi-chain balancer pool, and released it. And same with the L1X app. The installation process and the data contract is not visible anywhere. So these things can take time to marinate in the brain. But once people start using it, like our swap volume have increased, right? Like once people start using it, right, that stickiness factor is very important if we want this health of the complete infrastructure to actually survive, so that all the initial believers in this protocol, they haven't spent time just for the sake of it. So yeah, that's where we stand. And I hope a lot has gone into building this. So I hope that when people start getting it, please start using it, building it, and sharing it with the other people as well. Yeah, any closing comments, Keyur or Leono?
I saw a couple of questions, but they have been answered by Mike, so it's all good. So one question that I see is regarding online stores. Let me read that out. Yeah, will I be able to set up online shops as well? That's what the question was around that.
It makes perfect sense to do that. Like it makes sense to do that. It's logical. But the only thing is that, and a lot of other features may seem logical, but there is a sequence in how we want to execute this. And I've learned it the hard way. Trust me, I learned it the hard way, right? But I don't make the same mistake again, right? And we will first release this, make it actually usable for everyday people, and then see the feedback and build the next feature, right? That's what we're going to do. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I'm saying that maybe at a later stage based on the feedback from the community.
Got it. There's one more comment that says it looks like Kevin and Lionel are brothers.
Yeah, look, I think we have a similar background. Like I'm half Portuguese and half Indian. I think Lionel also has a similar background, and we both come prepared for our webinar scale. That's something that's common between us as well.
Right.
I'm not saying that you haven't come prepared, but I'm just saying you're a smart guy. All good. Good. Anyways, I think we have your username in the comments, right? And the team will reach out to you who has been selected, whose username has been selected. And we look forward to you building out and sharing this on socials as you're exclusively given access to this. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining in, and we will see you again next week. Thank you.